So,
I think people are just joining in.
as people are joining, what I intend doing is flashing the mentee. We have a small little question on the mentee and a request and invitation is for you to take a look and maybe help us with. One second. Share my screen.
And thanks to all of you who have filled the pre-test. Pre-test both you. Pre-work.
So here's the Zoom, sorry, mentee link. Just dropping it into the chat
Sunita,
box.
Sarah. So good to see you all.
Hi, Deepa.
A
Hi, Sarah.
request, Sunita, can you just see the mentee link? Is that visible to
Yes.
you?
Yes, this is
Just
So I'm
wondering,
just
how
going
do I
to,
see everyone together?
so I'll have to remove spotlight.
Oh, acha, that's why I'm not okay.
So spotlight comes with its,
Okay, I didn't realize. Okay.
so here's what people are filling up. So for those coming in still, I'll drop the link again. Chat. We have about 16 people right now with us.
Welcome to all.
Welcoming everybody. Oh, sorry. Skip empty screen. I love this, watching this,
Same.
watching the word cloud just build up.
Me too. Is it stuck?
No, it's on. I think we'll probably need more people, or people are probably thinking.
Okay.
And the invitation is for you to complete the sentence leading with dash, requesting you to fill in anything that comes up for you or that resonates with you except energy. Because that's how we are naming this program. So anything else but that.
Authenticity, kindness, gratitude, alignment,
And confidence seem to be the largest in the
confidence.
list.
Yes. Oh, so if when it's multiple, it comes to the
Yeah, it
same.
gets,
Okay.
the more the frequency of that particular item, so it as becomes larger and larger.
Wow. I just love this.
We are at 35,
I think we
Deepa.
should begin.
Should
Just
begin.
to honor everyone.
So thank you, everybody who's joined us. Greetings and welcome on behalf of Deepa and me. And I'm guessing that a lot of you already know Deepa. And from the perspective of introductions, Deepa is not somebody who's new to most of you in this group. Deepa is a leadership facilitator, a PCC with, I just checked with her, she said she's got over 2,000 hours, and I was kind of blown away. So 2,000 plus hours of coaching mastery, and she's A self-mastery expert, she facilitates conscious leadership journeys to enable ambitious leaders to achieve success with balance. And she's one of those unique people who's got a master's in psychology as well as in HR. So that kind of helps her weave her knowledge of psychology and her in-depth understanding of human behavior and emotions into her workshops, and guessing that enables the inside-out transformation for which she's kind of well known for. Deepa has also dabbled in the corporate world, and with over 2 decades of experience in various roles as a HR leader. That includes Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail, Ispat Industries. And somewhere along the way, she also shifted to working on the inner world of herself as well as people around her. And at this point in time, she also supports clients' desired outcomes through her presence, her deep listening, and evidence-based coaching and facilitation tools. And to top it all off, she's also a TEDx speaker, a mandala artist, and a teacher, an eurythmist. For people who may not be aware, eurythmy is all about body work, which comes from the Steiner school. And she's also a teacher for eurythmy. I understand she's done a 3 or 4 year program.
8.
8-year program from Switzerland, if I recall right.
London School of Living.
London's okay. Sorry, I got it all wrong there. And she's a dancer, an embodiment coach, an expressive arts therapist. She's a poet. And she also claims that she balances her life with a myriad of passion projects, and I'm really overwhelmed with all of this. So thanks to all of you for having chosen to come down today and have this conversation with us. And before I hand over the floor to Deepa, I'm just going to play a little something which has kind of occupied our mind space and use that as a segue to move into the session today. And I'm hoping you'll be able to see.
Capture the significance of this moment, and there it is.
Incredible, and Gukesh is also crying. Amazing. What a picture.
One dynasty ends and a new one begins. And after weeks of unspeakable hard work, the emotions spill out. I've got butterflies on my skin. How symbolic. Gukesh sets up the pieces like he always does, win or lose.
Don't cry, it's okay.
No, cry. Cry.
Finally, stoic Gukesh
Thank you.
shows us the emotion he's been bottling up inside. What an incredible result. And look at that, he's so unbelievably thankful to even be able to take part in emotion like this. He's so humble, he's so grateful for this moment, and it really shows. There isn't a shred of arrogance there. Absolutely nothing, like you said, Danya, wallowing in the defeat of his opponent. There's nothing of the sort. This guy is so wholesome. Yeah, wow. I feel like the images speak for themselves, mate.
This guy is so wholesome. That's what stood out for me. And I think I watched it multiple times, and every time I get some goosebumps. And so, Deepa, let me lead you in to this conversation with a simple question. Gukesh seems to be sorted. He seems to rate his potential. So would you be able to analyze Gukesh from the perspective or the lens of energy and let us know what your thoughts are on this?
Yes. This is one of the videos I watched first that evening. And then multiple videos about his interviews from his father and parents talking about his life, etc. And until you suggested this, it never struck me, but I was actually analyzing it. And because something really deeply touched me, a guy very early who said that I am going to be a champion, worked for it, father, of course, undoubted support, has reached here. It is not just, you know, it's not by chance. So when I looked at the iceberg theory, which is my favorite, or even roots, the tree, something in the is invisible has worked well for him to really achieve this impossible or rather difficult feat at the age of 18. So, Sriram, whenever I talk about energy, for me, the energy mastery has 6 pillars. So I did analyze this his victory on based on those 6 energy pillars, and allow me to speak about that. But before I speak, I want to read out something. A flyer today. I just randomly happened to see it on LinkedIn, and it's written that when victory is within reach, don't let excitement or fear hijack you, because it is feverishness. And focus on the task at hand and patiently march towards victory, one step at a time. So when I read this, it almost for me was the essence of energy mastery.
Wow.
Above is victory, and below is no excitement, no fear, focus, being patient, keep marching, looking at victory, stay focused on that, and take one step at a time. So for me, it just encompasses that. I don't know if he spoke it or somebody else said it, but I was so touched. So the 6 mastery pillars, and later on I'll share from where I was inspired to coin the 6 energy mastery pillars. But the first mastery pillar is the body. And when I look at, his lot of write-ups, his sleep, physical exercise routine, his nutrition, all of it was taken care of. So he didn't say that I have to win at any cost, and he gave time to it. The second is the aspect of rhythms, which gives vitality. He's not his vitality is not maintained. He cannot focus. When I'm thinking about something else, I cannot focus. So the vitality was taken care of. Habits, that's another mastery pillar for me. Discipline, because when with a disciplined mind, it is capable of cutting distractions. The fourth mastery pillar is emotions. And somewhere, in during this time, I read that there are victories, there are losses. But how can I regulate emotions under stress? And most of that was also a support that came from his father. But his father, and there were times very early on when Gukesh would want to leave, want to quit because he's losing. But his father would tell him, you lose or you win, you have to play it. And today he advises that to the whole country or to everyone. So this taking defeat or victory in their stride and balancing the emotions under stress is something that, he's an epitome of that. And finally, purpose mastery or thoughts. When I look at thoughts mastery, it is basically being present for each move. And he says one step at a time. And finally, when I look at purpose mastery or leadership mastery, in one of the videos I heard, I want to make India proud. And there was a clear purpose. He was looking at something big. It was not every victory. Of course, it contributed. So to me, it was like a clear energy mastery was a strategy for performance or success mastery. And imagine he saying, I don't have time to sleep. And in when you hear what his father says, actually I didn't allow him to sleep. Because I wanted him to play as much, and during COVID he couldn't play a lot of matches. So his father was worried, what if he does not get there? But then he said, let me sleep, I need sleep. So the pause is as important as the run and the victory. So a lot of things to learn from his example. And there are many leaders who do this, just that this has come in the forefront, so we have this talking point today.
That's a very, very elaborate analysis of Gukesh from the lens of energy. And I'm wondering, where is it that it started for you? How did you stumble upon this? Some background around this.
Sure. So I think it stumbled upon, it started from my falling down and in my own life's journey, and especially emotions. I never knew anything, what's emotional balance. It didn't make, I never learned it. I didn't have role models who were balanced in my growing up years, even later. When I experienced emotionally balanced people, I felt they were not reactive because I was used to being reactive and also experiencing reactivity. So it was so, I was not used to no drama. Drama has to be there in my life. So which means that when I still remember when my Masi used to call and say, I'm coming home. She lives in, like, let's say 6 stations away. I will be excited to the extent as if, somebody is coming from US or somewhere. But to me, that's that. Or somebody is unwell, then I can just go down and create whatever. Probably imagine the impossible. So this no, inability to balance was a big one for me, and it costed me a lot, especially after children, because I used to be enraged at times. At times, I would call myself a Bhadragali because I myself never understood ki why am I reacting like this. I'm supposed to be, and the very next moment I would be very loving. So I surely knew that something is needed. But the biggest one was, I would say, Steiner School. My older son was in third grade. The teacher told me that your child will act out if you don't take care. I don't know what she was telling, but I almost felt she was telling me. And after that, I quit. And I'm so grateful to alternate schooling for this, that they don't tell me the marks in English, maths, but they talk about personality and the person. So I quit, and 12, I quit. I mean, I tell my people that I quit because I have to take care of children. But that was not the truth. I was experiencing a burnout, and burnout in my thoughts and emotions. So when I was on my break, I quit, and then I joined expressive arts therapy course. When I was learning to be a therapist, we had to mandatorily go into therapy. When I started therapy is when I realized how broken I was. And then, okay, if I'm broken, that's the current state. What is the desired state? To be whole. But I had no idea what that meant. So that whole journey was this whole step between feeling disintegrated or fragmented to feeling integrated and whole.
That's it's really something. And I just have to share the experience about Steiner. My daughter is also Steiner school. And I always felt that Steiner teachers wanted me to do all the work and not children to do it.
That's true. That is true. That is true. I'm so grateful. Yeah, and that's why I went back to teach in a Steiner school because I feel I need to contribute to what I learned, where I learned from.
So what comes up for me, Deepa, is that obviously you've integrated all this work from the Steiner school as well as the education that you had in psychology and stuff like that, and you put it together. So what's this broad model that you have created, and how does this work for us?
Yeah, actually, Sriram, the model came much later, but the work began long ago. And, after I quit, I ran a therapy center in Indranagar. And I was, of course, doing therapy, I was in supervision, etc. When I was doing that, I realized there were certain common patterns. And most of the patterns, especially as a therapist, would be in the space of emotions and in the space of thoughts, mindset, thoughts, general, not mindset, but incessant thoughts, depression, all of those cases that I'm handling. So we had to work on that. And I saw certain patterns, but I was still new into therapy field and I was doing something, but I exactly didn't know what I was doing right. When I then gradually shifted to coaching, I think it was again a matter of chance. My supervisor told me that this is not therapy that you're doing. I said, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's not therapy. So let me drop the tag of a therapist and let's do what I'm doing. And then I stumbled upon positive psychology coaching. I went through a program and I felt, yeah, this though I know. I mean, this feels very me. Okay, I said, okay, I can call myself a coach. I didn't know ICF and all at that time. And then I was coaching leaders. So even before I had a ICF certification, I was coaching leaders. And I observe the patterns that I was experiencing when I was back in corporate. So uh, the model it came much later, but the common patterns that I was seeing in leaders, and I want to share this because even after I quit, I experienced the pattern. The pattern doesn't leave. The context changes. But the pattern keeps remaining the same because we are not looking below the iceberg. We are not looking at the invisible factors that leads. In fact, when I was leaving, no, my CPO, Chief People Officer, he told me, "You'll sit at home, you'll be overworking there also. So you're telling me you're leaving because you're overworking, you'll overwork." I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I ended up doing that when I was a therapist, very successful therapist, huge number of clients, and no advertisement. And in therapy, we were told never to put out any content, never to share anything. So I never shared. I never had even a signage. It was a blank wall all the time. So the common things that I see in leaders today, and especially in the energy space, which they don't see, is one is burnout. Burnout is real. It's absolutely real, and they actually do not know when that. I see it as a matchstick, when that last thing is going to burn, and when it's going to burn my finger. I don't, and we're still holding on to it sometimes. It is burnt, but I don't know because I'm so engrossed in chasing what's above the iceberg. So burnout is real because I'm chasing the output, but I am not building a container to hold that when it comes. My body or my emotions or my thoughts, I'm not building a container. That's one thing I observe. The second thing I observe a lot of times is this belief about I don't have time. I was guilty of it even when I was there. I don't have time. But the question is, if I have so many things in the list, I'll not have time. If I don't know what I need, if I'm not able to prioritize, then I will not have time. And then I use it as a thing to, okay, not wake up and do an exercise or just take my phone and then look at it in the morning because I have to be on my, on this machine, work all the time.
The treadmill.
So that's a belief that, I'm seeing, and wherever I get an opportunity right now when I'm group coaching, I do highlight it. I do talk about it. The third is emotional instability. This actually, as a culture, we are not taught to really. We're taught to suppress emotions. We're not taught to look at it, go through it, deal with it. We don't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it until I did my therapy course for 1 year. And I understood, oh, there are tools to do it. Oh, there's an emotions wheel. Oh, there are things to, look at. It opened my eyes. Just emotions wheel. If I keep acknowledging, I at least know that I'm sad most of the times. Then what's beneath it? Because it's an iceberg. Again, every emotion is an iceberg. It's huge. It's deep. So it opened my eyes, and so emotions I don't know how to handle. And therefore, there are two things that happen. I implode, which is I curse myself and look at it inside, or I explode. I lash it out. One or the other is happening. Both are energy. One energy is going inside and, in fact, damaging the container which exists. And the other energy goes outside and it burns bridges to those people who can help me when I need. So I don't have people around because I'm always exploding. So this is a very big thing, the implosion and explosion. This is something I observe. And the last point that I'm thinking is that when I look at team leaders, I'm doing a lot of group coaching and especially working with homogeneous teams. When I look at teams, the common thing I see is that the difference is if the team leader has energy and vitality and purpose. Why am I here? I'm not here just to make my team work till 9 o'clock. I'm here to serve or service a purpose, and I can do it till 6:30, go home and retire. Or there are other set of people, no, you have to work till the last minute. I was that kind of a person, by the way. But the thing is that my team thrived because everybody wanted to work. But what is the culture we are creating as a team leader is the question. And there could be one person in the team who does not want to align to this. What happens to them? So when we look at our energy, energy of self below the iceberg, things above, managing my team, managing my ecosystem, managing the people who work for us at home, everything changes. So it's actually a revolution. It's a new way to look at leadership. A lot of talk is going on about inside out leadership. So many talks, but how do you break that inside down? And and that's what I could figure, how to break that energy, because energy is so, you can't touch it, no, you can't feel it.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
sense it, but you can't rationally think it. And so many people are rational.
Absolutely. And what I'm going to invite you to do is break down this model for us and
Yeah.
maybe tell us how this plays out.
Sure. Sure. I will share my screen. I want to also share about, this is another equation that I stumbled upon. Because I used to say this, that I have so much potential. Not that always I believed it. My managers used to tell me. I was so blessed. I worked for the Aditya Birla Group, and I can see one of my colleagues here, Madhurima. So, and I had such great leaders there. So they used to tell me that I'm so intelligent, I have so much potential, etc. I never believed it. I always used to ask them, show me proof. So stupid of me. But it was like that. And then the same me was saying that, okay, why is my potential not equal to performance? I could probably earn more. I could be at a higher level. I could be more than this. But the moment I say this, believe you me, I can feel the fear in the pit of my stomach when I say it. So I knew that it's like me wanting to run the race, but my right leg is tied to something. So I can't run. And what would happen is, thoda sa it will be opened and I'll run, but I'll be pulled back again. So this always happened, and I figured that those were the interferences. And I was curious, what interferences? So they were all random thoughts for me. But I could put everything together with the help of two perspectives. One was the Panchakoshas from our Indian scriptures, from the Taittiriya Upanishad, which says that we are a fivefold being. The outermost being, a part of self, is the body, which we can touch and feel. So a cut, I can nurse it. So I nurse it and I'm fine. The next level is the breath body. Now, when I say breath body or the pranamaya kosha, it is responsible for the proper functioning of my breathing, my digestion, my all the systems that have an in and out process. What goes out and what comes in. So if there is too much of taking in and not too much of out, if there's no balance, then the pranamaya kosha or the vitality sheet, it is impacted. This is where vitality comes from. Imagine a day when it's not fully digested and you feel a sluggish feeling. You can't be, your vitality is low. So that's one. Or your breath is stuck. You can't take a deep breath. You can't run. You can't walk. It impacts your vitality. The third body, as per the Upanishad, is the emotional body. And this is responsible for the I hate you, I love you, the vagaries, the pendulum swings of the emotion body lies here. That's the next body. Now from here, it becomes more and more subtler. We can't see it. The next body is the intellectual body. This is the body which is at the thoughts level. And the bliss body, the way I have interpreted it from energy perspective, is the body that holds the purpose. And because I hold the purpose, I'm always in a state of looking up, which is what Gukesh said, that I want to make India proud. And most players say that. Mary Kom, I have heard that. And Mary Kom, I just saw a video. I love boxing. Without boxing, I will die. I will not live. And I want to make India proud. I want to create another young athlete, another young champion, boxing champion. So that's the for me the Anandamaya Kosha, the purpose. So when I looked at all of this, it made a lot of sense to me because I got a hang of how can I look at energy from this perspective. So if it's emotional body, I know from psychology, I have studied emotions. I can make it, see it, feel it, concretize it. If it's the thoughts, then yes, psychology offers me a tool to to make it concrete. So this is one of my inspiration. The second inspiration is anthroposophy and Rudolf Steiner's work. I feel like he's one of my gurus because I have learned parenting, mothering, everything from him. I mean, from his spirit. He was not there. I mean, I've not met him. But he says we are a fourfold being. We have the physical body, we have the etheric body, which is the life body, the pranamaya kosha, and then astral body, which is actually the emotional body as per the koshas. And then he talks about the ego body, the I. Yeah. And that is a combination of the other two bodies in the other from the koshas perspective. So when I looked at one perspective from the east and one from the west, of course there is a lot of influence from the east in his biography. But let's take him for now because he's from Austria and he preached in Switzerland, so from the west. And I looked at, I found a way to understand energy, and from there came this. So when I look at energy, it is basically I look at body and body mastery as an energy, vitality, and how can you do it through the rhythms, emotions and emotions mastery, thoughts, mindset mastery, and purpose, leadership mastery. And what ties all of this together is habits for each and every aspect of the energy. So that's energy in itself. Habits generate an energy, and even one habit generates a lot of energy. So, and when this happens, the whole energy mastery happens. It's all, there's a lot of vitality and energy that's generated. So, as of now, these are the energy dimensions that I observe my life and even my clients. So there could be one or the other which can be a primary pattern, so to say. And if we look at the primary pattern and attack that, like for me, emotions, whenever I get a huge project, last year I got a very big project from an organization. They told me that we're looking for a coach and we saw your profile. Imagine what's the possibility that out of so many coach profiles in LinkedIn, they called mine. They got mine. And I was the only one. And I presented a proposal. I got the. It was coaching, group coaching, and individual coaching for 25 senior leaders. So I was very scared because that's my pattern. I should be happy, but I was so scared and nervous. So scared, and that's my emotion pattern. So today, it's 1 hour, 1 year and about 2-3 months now. Today, when I get a project, I have reversed this pattern. I'm excited. I mean, excited, not in the terms of I fly off, because I had that pattern also, to fly off, but not anymore. So I have absolutely seen the benefits of holding the energy and achieving success. And for me, one of the biggest success in 2024 has been this. So I look at it this way, when we decode it, the stimulus and the response are always above the iceberg, but the process happens below. So all the energy work that you do is below. It's hard work. It's not easy.
Wow.
And there is help needed. Of course, there is needed. And that's why we are there. I go to a coach, somebody comes to me, and we support each other. So this is the final thing I want to leave, everyone with. Leadership success, all of us are here, a leader wanting the success. Yeah. But unless you master this below the iceberg, what's going to come above is going to be by chance, by fluke. Today I was facilitating a session and I asked them to share successes. And I asked, how many of you felt that this success came by fluke.
Hmm.
There were so many people who raised their hands because they had not mastered this. They had not understood, and the program was on self-awareness and about beliefs and limiting beliefs. So we worked on the beliefs. Now there are higher chances that the work has begun here. Because the work has begun here, there are chances that the same results come with less stress and less burnout. So this is it simple. I think this one slide for me explains everything about what's below is what is going to come above. Your choice is whether it comes with stress or not.
Wow. This is a brilliant picture as far as I'm concerned. And what comes up for me when I see this picture is the fact that at the hub is the habits, in the sense that virtually drives the wheel in a lot of ways. So if you have habits that really are going to help you, you're going to move into leadership success. Otherwise, those habits are kind of going to derail you. I'm guessing
Yes.
that seems to
And
be the
sometimes when habits are not sustained, and if your emotional pattern is weak, you start imploding and criticizing yourself. Oh, I'm not, fulfilling my habits, and I'm not committing to it. I'm not staying committed to it. So watch out. They're all interrelated in one way, but you have to start somewhere. So focus on the weakling first, so that it comes to some level.
And I have a question
I'm
around.
going to stop my share. Yes.
So this question is around how does this translate into this all is all about leaders
Yeah.
and the context of teams and the ecosystem. How does this manifest?
Yeah, in the yeah. So when you look at who is a leader, actually everybody is a leader. As for me, I wouldn't say only organization in leader. A parent is a leader,
Yeah.
and uh, I see that every morning we have these security guards. There is one person who make them do their salute and all of that. I don't know what is he called, but he
Supervisor.
yeah, supervisor. Yes, that's the guy. He's a leader. He may not know English,
Yeah.
but he's a leader. I mean, parent is the biggest leader actually. A homemaker is a leader. So the question is, do you identify yourself as a leader? A lot of us feel shy or not sure to call self a leader. And that's the first level of inquiry. Now, when you identify yourself as a leader, and let's take a corporate professional who has a team or individual contributor who has no team but who has an influence. Yeah. Now, if you work on your energy, imagine you work on your emotions energy, you will be able to empathize with your team. You will be able to empathize with the cook who comes to your house to serve you. That's your ecosystem. Your ecosystem is not just people who are at work. You'll be able to empathize and empathize with your supervisor, your leader, your senior. So empathy and that's if you manage the emotions of manage the energy of your emotions. Any aspect you take into account, your team members are going to be impacted by your presence. You clear your thoughts energy, you will be able to very clear. I've seen managers who come and say today one instruction, evening the instructions will be exactly opposite. Now usko kya hai, bol gaya hai, but the team below has to change the entire MIS, and they'll have to work the whole night for churning an absolutely brand new MIS. And some organizations are not digitally equipped, so it's all manual. And I've seen the pain of people who are not so sensitive, and because they don't have clarity, their mindset is not it's gone wacky. Their purpose is not clear. Their purpose is to save their job. So the question is that, is the leader coming from fear energy or flourish energy? If it comes from fear energy, then the whole line is going to be destroyed. And team members leave the manager, not always the organization. And team members who really love their managers, even if the manager quits, they'll always stay in touch with them. I have been in touch with my manager.
Yeah,
My first manager is Spad Industries. I'm still in touch with him. And likewise, people who have been in my team have been in touch with me. So it has a ripple effect actually. It's like a flower and its fragrance spreads if your energy is managed.
That's a lovely metaphor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like fragrance. Yeah. I'm also reminded of that, a couple of months back, I think there was this toxic video around some bank manager shouting at his team around sales targets that was not being met, and it went viral, and there was a lot of controversy around it, a lot
Okay.
of news
Okay.
clips around it. Vaguely recall that. The guy was
Okay.
extremely abusive, and this
Yeah.
was a mainline bank in this country.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
really hear
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah. And those who are abusive, honestly, are not only abusive outside, they're actually abusive inside. They just are exploding. So it's I feel sad, especially toxic managers, narcissist managers. Today there's so much of talk about narcissist managers. They have no anchor on values. It's just I woke up today and this is how my mood is and that's how I'll lead today. It's not even leadership.
So I'm aware that you are actually offering this as a program,
Yeah.
as a retreat and a program for anybody who chooses to kind of associate with you. So inviting you to just probably explore and expand on what is this offering of yours.
Yeah. So this I just want to spend a few minutes on the genesis of this program. The program is called Purnatva. Purna is whole and Tattva is the essence. So this program is it means the essence of wholeness. And why this came from? It came from all the struggles I went through and all the strategies that I used to get over that. Of course, new strategies are evolving because each person is different. But then there must be a map or a method to the madness. Because otherwise, how can energy be managed? It will still remain as an untouchable or unseeable thing. So hence I put this program together, ran 2 batches, and now entering into the third. And now that I have a sense that it is impacting participants, and that's when I also had the courage to apply to ICF and get it accredited as a CCE program. So it offers
Wow.
40 CCEs to any coach who wants to continue their credential and upgrade their credential, or anybody who's on a portfolio path. So quickly, I'll share just a few aspects of the program. Some of you may have participated, I'm not able to see all of you, so or would have registered for it. So it's called an energy-driven leadership program, and you achieve performance mastery with energy mastery. Outside will happen. We will focus on the inside. So again, it's based on the 5 pillars, and I just want to take you through, it's based on the interferences and what kind of interferences people face. These are some of, emotional imbalance, fixed mindset, purposeless execution, being exhausted, illnesses, unclear decision making, chaotic living. These could be the interferences, could be others for all of you sitting here. Now, I have all kinds of leaders in this program. Homemakers, corporate professionals, entrepreneurs, coaches, therapists. Anybody who identifies themselves as a leader is the right person for this program. Anybody who's willing to do the self-work, who's willing to support self and the other. And this is the schedule. We start on the 8th. Each one is based on, the mastery pillars, each session. It's in a group coaching format. So less of content, but in a coaching format so that each one takes away what they have to take away. So we start with trust building, then we look at something called looking at your core self, vision. From vision, if you see, we are going deep into the iceberg, deep below the iceberg. We go to the core self, the identity bit. From the identity we come up and say, okay, from the vision, what goals do you want? So goals will come above the iceberg. And then we keep dancing between up and down. Iceberg stays. So, and then here a big element is about your biography. We also look at rhythms, biography. Biography work is something I'm certified in, which is Steiner's work, and something that is life-changing for many, especially even for me. And all the sessions after that, emotions, beliefs, body mastery, is aligned to biography, so that we work on the data that we have inside. We work with what we have to transform what we have to transform into. We work on attuning with the body, then we work on what is balanced decision making, and finally celebrate the leader in me. And if anybody wants, maybe Shriyam, you could put the the brochure
Yeah, I'll do that.
in chat, and you could
I'll do
look
that.
at
Just
it.
a second.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm just gonna stop.
I would just
The goal, the aim of this program is to have a method in the madness of energy mastery. That's the simple aim. For some, it can be that I've done a lot of work already in bits and pieces. This helps to integrate. For some, it can open, but open in a way that it's contained. The banks are there for the river to flow. And for some, it's continued self work. And for me, it's continuous.
So I'm hoping I dropped the brochure in the chat box.
Yeah. I can see. Anybody
You can see
wants it, you can pick. And
Yeah.
if it says that it's quiet in here. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
That's
No,
that's
I can see
somebody's.
Meetu and Preeti saying it's quiet.
No, it's not there. It's the AI bot,
Oh, okay.
which is throwing up all this. So
Okay.
and I hope the recording is going on, because I've heard places where
Yes.
the recording gets interrupted because of all
No,
this.
it's there. It's there.
So what I'm going to do is now maybe play out a couple of testimonials. Is that okay?
Oh,
Deepa?
yes.
We'll do that.
Yes.
Just give me half a minute while I share my screen. Let me know if you.
Biggest takeaway from this whole journey, Deepa, that I'm taking away, is to live life inside out rather than outside in. So what I mean from that is, outside in, your sense of value and your sense of worth is defined by what others say about you, what the approvals, external validation. Also, you're measuring success by the magnitude of your external achievements, like what is your designation? Are you the CEO of this company? Those kind of things. Okay. And then everything is a competition, because you're always competing with others, right? Uncertainty, because you're not clear about what you really want. And you're either worrying about the future or you're thinking about the past most of the time. And your emotions are always threatening to overwhelm you. But if you lived life inside out, then your love and acceptance of yourself is the defining factor here. And success is measured by your own internal state of mind, not by what you're doing externally. And you know yourself, you're grounded. And because you're so grounded, you can present the best version of yourself to the world. So it benefits both ways. And then, of course, you're planning for the future, you're learning from the past, but you're spending most of your time in the present moment.
Personal growth, I've developed a lot of light. There is awareness now. I'm not going to go back. Relationship with family and friends, I'm able to forgive generously, because before I used to have this, my mind used to, I used to listen to my mind a lot. I've never forgiven the people that I want in life. I always had complaints about them. Now I'm able to forgive, and I'm able to be compassionate with them. And the first and foremost person that I wanted to be friends with is myself, and I'm able to do that with myself. And I've healed broken relationships. I feel changing things in me had changed things around me. Now I see that I see that I'm attracting better projects, like projects that I would like to work in, projects that interest me, rather than working in some boring project. I started attracting better paying projects.
I have started listening to a lot of appreciation about myself that I'm getting from the outside world, which I'm just enjoying of late, and I'm able to enjoy it. Earlier, I used to be embarrassed about things, but now I'm able to enjoy it. Like I said, I've been a gatekeeper for my thoughts. I do not allow it to go. I think I'm witnessing them more than I used to. And like I said, I have been able to accept appreciation. And I have through this journey, and I mean, from the start of this journey, I've realized that I have the power and the right to make choices for myself. And I keep my intentions right. I always remind myself that my intentions are good before I start. And I want to experience fullness of joy. I've not yet got there, but I know that I'm capable of. So we'll get there soon.
So this was a compilation from the presentation that they made on the on the last day. And of course, there's a lot many people shared, but we just a few voices. One is she's from the coaches circle, Ruxana, and then Abhirami is she's a freelancer, she's an entrepreneur, and Jinisha is a homemaker.
Okay.
Each one gets different things, but the essence is inside out.
Inside out. And I'm just recalling, I've read somewhere that, and I think in most spiritual traditions, know thyself is something that figures everywhere.
Yeah.
And I recall reading somewhere that I believe the temple of Apollo has this written down there, I think, at the entrance or something like that. Know thyself. So I think this is maybe Purnatva is essentially know thyself, a different form.
Yeah,
I'm sensing.
Yeah, true. I think I live for that. Everything else is by the way.
So it is a good place to segue into some questions if the
Yes.
audience has some questions.
Yes.
Inviting anybody who's got questions to unmute and maybe shoot the question to Deepa.
Deepa, I don't have any question, but I want to say that your program is brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I also want to add on to that. Congratulations on getting this program CCE certified.
Thank you.
It's amazing, and all of the elements that you've covered for energy mastery is brilliant.
Thank you.
I really love the visuals as well.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Madhurima.
And Deepa, how frequently do you do this program?
Twice a year.
Twice a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
July or August, one of that, and January.
Okay. That's important. If we want to spread a word, we know.
Yes. January.
And it lasts about, one cohort lasts through 6 months?
Yeah. Thanks, Madhu, for being here.
Yeah.
I have a question.
I mean,
Sorry.
I just can't express it in any possible words, but it's a beautiful journey to be able to look inwards. I think I'm very, very grateful to you and Vipul, and will always be, to have introduced me to this and helped me, So it's a long journey. I've moved from there, and I am now on my journey of health and life coaching
Oh,
myself.
lovely. Lovely.
So you have been my inspiration,
Thank you.
is what I wanted to say, and I am the person who can really vouch that the way you do it, the way you take things, I mean, it's just beautiful. And
Thank you. It means a lot to come from you, and I'm seeing you after such a long time.
yes,
Thank you.
thank you so much, Srinath. Thank you.
Thanks. I think Ashwini had a question.
Yeah, so Deepa, the question that I have is, as you spoke about mastering energy, say, as an individual, say, I am on that path and I'm bringing that out. I have built that for myself. What I'm struggling in this phase of life is to also understand, in a corporate space or a professional space, a group setting.
Yes.
How do you optimize your self function when others are not in that state, but you have largely prepared yourself, but you have to adapt?
Yes, correct. Absolutely.
How does that
If the
work?
gap
Because you
is
can't
too,
expect to change
yes,
people.
correct. And if the gap is too much, you will feel like a fish out of water, and that's natural. See, I've been on the other side in the corporate space for the last 5, 6 years, and I largely see this happening because people I interact with are not in the inside out space most of the times. But off late, I'm starting to meet people who I think those are the kind of organizations who are wanting to partner with me because the other kind of people are not able to understand my work, either be it deep coaching or be it facilitative, not training but facilitation. It's different. So and when I meet the other kind of people, I think I see that there is hope, but they are lesser in number than the other kinds. So it's real, I think. But so when we, I think, choose the workplace, we have to be very careful of how you choose, because otherwise it can either contaminate your energy or it can leave you feeling very frustrated. So it's real. Yeah. But the other thing is, and because I know you so personally, you have a very pure energy. So there is a huge possibility that you be that flower in influencing the energy. And that also is a possibility. Like I had seen my manager when I was working for the Aditya Villa group be that. At that time, I didn't know energy mastery, but he was already a master in this energy. He still continues to be the same. So, and because he was at the center of affairs, we all benefited. He was the one who could balance my emotions. When I would say I'm not good enough, he would say, no, look at your creativity, look at this, look at that. He would throw me options. So, if I am that leader, then, if I can be that, I think there's a lot of change that is possible. But of course, it's our choice and it's your choice how much you want to fight. But I think trying out is the way to go. And you'll get a sense, when you enter a space, is it for me or not? So it's trial and error and waiting for that right moment.
Any other questions? Otherwise, we are 2 minutes for the. Somebody's
Very well
got
said,
anything
Sriram.
else?
Be the change you want to see.
Somebody else said it. I was just repeating it.
Okay.
It's Gandhi's school, right?
And when you can't be the change, quit it.
We'll have to ask Gandhi for advice.
Like I would quit because I cannot bear my energy being drained by anyone. It's too precious to let go.
I have to talk to you.
Who's that?
Me.
I also said the same thing.
Yeah, I have realized it, that
It's just that last sentence that you said.
you mean not worth it.
Yeah, I can't bear my energy being drained.
Yes.
Yeah, on that note, I want to talk to you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have let go on projects because I can't bear it. It didn't make sense to me. And even when I put it out, there is no movement from their end. They're not understanding me. So we are not talking the same language. What's the point?
True.
Sometimes I wonder, what is it that needs to be done in such cases? What's the entry point for people who just can't understand or can't just get this whole thing at all?
I have a very quick answer for this. They have to wait for their biggest debacle in their life for them to enter into that tunnel of awakening. So we can't help them. I mean, it's a joke, but I think I'm putting myself in that shoe. I think I was beyond repair.
So I have there's a question from
Nirani.
Nitya Sapru,
Yes.
and it says, I have a bad throat, hence not coming on video.
Oh, sure.
Things outside you are projections of what's inside you, and what's inside you is a projection of what's outside. My question, but if we have mess outside, no one wants mess, then why do we have mess in the outside? Where does it come from?
Okay, so no one wants mess, then why do we have mess in the outside? Okay. Why do we have mess in the outside? Is that what you're asking? You're asking about the outside.
Yeah, why do we have mess in the outside, and where does it come from?
Okay. So the outside mess can come from all the situations, the people around, the relationships around me, the work profile, the projects I'm working on, all of that. I mean, especially whatever is closest. If you draw a relationship map, if you draw a mandala of the core that is you, and then the next set of relationship, you know where the mess is coming from, and keep drawing that concentric circle. So you know where it comes from and why it comes from. If you reflect on the outer, you know where it comes from. The question here is deeper. The question here is, if you see the mess around, what does it make you feel, think, do? If it's making you feel, think, and do in a certain way, then that's something that in the inner you can look at. And it's also about, I have certain control of the outer, certain control, but I have full control of the inner.
So we are at 7:32.
Yeah.
This is a good place to pause the conversation.
Yes.
So thanks to everybody who chose to spend an hour with us. Grateful to all of you. And thank you, Deepa, for taking us through this
Thank you.
beautiful offering of yours.
Thank you, Sriram.
Here's wishing everybody good evening, good rest of the evening, and the very best for the year that's just about 2 weeks away. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Deepa, you need to stop the recording.
Thank you.